Communication, the process of generating meaning symbolic cues that are influenced by multiple contexts. I wanted to keep this definition in mind when I was creating my own model of communication because I wanted to make sure that it was simple enough for my audience to fully understand and grasp the meaning, but I also wanted to make sure it was unique enough for them to find it interesting. My communication model is called the musical communication model. The musical communication model uses music as its main form of communication. There's a two-way channel, and the only person that can send feedback is the person that is not singing or playing an instrument. While most communication models use hand gestures, body language, or verbal spoken words as its main form of communication, musical communication model uses music. One person sings or plays an instrument while the other listens. This can be used in group communication, which occurs when 3 or more people communicate to achieve a shared goal. A good example of this would be in church. You have your people at the front of the church who sing and play their instruments, while the congregation also have the same goal as them, which is to worship. This could also be used with public communication, which is center-focused and typically occurs when one person conveys information to an audience. A good example of this would be if I were to put on a concert. It would be me and my guitar performing to a whole audience. There's also mass communication. A good example of this would be if I too had a song that was on the radio. My song that was on the radio would be mass communication. It occurs when messages are sent in large audiences using print or electronic device. If you wanted to go as far to say that the person that can give feedback, they can also give their feedback using mass communication. If they wanted to send a tweet saying how much they liked it, or post something on Instagram saying how much they didn't like it. Unlike the interaction model that has a one-way channel but both people can give feedback, the musical communication model has a two-way channel but only one person can give feedback. Let's say that the person singing is Sandy and the person listening is Brad. It has a two-way channel because even though Sandy is the main person singing, Brad can also make facial expressions showing if they didn't or didn't like it. They would most likely be using intrapersonal communication if this were to be happening. I am personally one of those people that whatever I'm thinking shows up on my face. Brad could be listening to Sandy and thinking how he really relates to this message. He understands what she's saying. He might smile, or if he were to think the opposite, he might frown. He could also be using physical communication. So even though the musician is the person doing this main form of communication, the other person giving feedback is the listener, and they could also use other forms of communication other than singing. So, for example, I previously said physical communication. Brad could clap, giving feedback. He could also give facial expressions, giving feedback. Feedback is something that tells the singer or the instrument person, usually I think of it as how they were doing, what they think. What did you think of something? Oh, well, I thought it was wonderful. I thought you presented yourself well. I really understood your message. Overall, musical communication model, I think, is something that's very personal and everybody has experienced, whether they're in this case Sandy or Brad. Musical communication has a one person singing or playing an instrument as the main form of communication, a two-way channel, and one person can give feedback, and that only person is the person that is not singing or playing the instrument. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.